Shalom, Kahala Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kokwadash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect, with the house of David reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage, we were known as and still are the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about this image and just in general the wickedness which is prevailing across the world today. And I'm going to go through some examples that I just ran across. And I think I might just make this a weekly thing where basically I just highlight just some of the things that are coming out, because there's so many things that are being brought to my attention that I can't make videos about everything. So that's why this video is going to be just a compilation of just, things that I've seen, right? Other brothers call this news and updates, but I'm just, call it the weekly wickedness of Babylon the Great. But let's read this first before I get into this image. This is 1 John 5:19. And we know that we are of God, and that the whole world lieth in wickedness. So you see, this image was posted on this page here, right? On this Reddit page or subreddit, for the most part, basically over in England. They're about to select their new prime minister. It's like their president over there, and pretty much both opponents, or at least the two main ones. You see this guy here. I think his name's like Ravi Sanes or something. I forgot his name. But or you got this lady here. Both of them are scumbags from what I've been hearing, and nobody really likes them, especially not this guy. He's basically your economic forum. Both of them are, in fact, but he's more corrupt, as people are saying. Though he's basically being pushed as the English Obama. Now that being said, if you can see here, it tells you, it says, small ballot at my local coffee shop, Satan for prime minister, right? Off the ground coffee, Middlesbrough. So this just shows you, man, that the patrons of this establishment, right, basically chose Satan, right, over these politicians, right? Lucifer, right, or in this case, Baphomet, right? But this right here is a representation of all things wicked, which all come together to form Satan. That's what this goat head, the angel wings, the sun and the moon, the up and down, or as above, so below, all this stuff, right? This is a representation of just duality and ultimately just all forms of wickedness, right? That's what this is. But I digress, right? The whole point being is that the people in this city or in this business here have let it be known that they would prefer to basically let Satan rule over them instead of these politicians. Now again, this is not by accident, right? And though this is humor and satire, there's always a bit of truth in humor, right? Or satire. But you see, this right here is on purpose. You see, the elites of our society, right? If you watch my lesson from last week about the secret Edomite covenant, you can see that these devils have it all planned out, right? They're basically gonna, corrupt existing governments to show that they're incompetent, and ultimately bring forth a solution, right? This is also referred to as the Hegelian dialectic, where they create a problem, right? In this case, corrupt politicians that nobody likes, and then after there's chaos, people revolt, people are upset, they conveniently come with a solution. That solution being a new world order, a one world government, a one world religion, a one world economic system, basically the Tower of Babel, being led by Satan, okay, and his people, the so-called white people or Caucasian race, or biblically as they're known, the Edomites, okay? This is their plan for world domination. And how are they going to do it? Well, like I just read in First John's, the whole world had lies and wickedness. And how does that happen? Well, just from consistent, gradual movements towards the liberal views that we are stuck in today, right? At one time it was short skirts. Now it's killing a baby after it's born, after it's like a few months old and stuff, right? It's crazy how much wickedness has grown up. But again, this is what the Bible says would happen in these end times, which is what we're living in. Let's go and watch some of these videos. It just shows you how wicked this place is becoming. So right here in Spain, Barcelona, you have these two dogs basically thinking it's fun, or I'm just gonna stop it right here. Well, let me stop it where there's this guy. These people give a perfect view. Here we go. I think, where is it at? There's a guy here who just gives like there you go, on the left. See, these people here, you can't really see it, perfectly clear, but you can tell, man, they're annoyed by this shit, right? Because this isn't like all, something that people look at and marvel at. Yeah, like there's gonna be people who are gonna look at these women and desire them, right? But the clout that these women are desiring, because what they're ultimately trying to do is copy what those prostitutes over in New York did on the subway, right? Where they took over a whole subway. They were doing like lap dances and like I think like they had like a slip and slide and even had a midget and stuff, man. Right? Well, you got these women here literally shaking their ass, which fucking looks ridiculous. They even got fucking knee pads on, man. So these are professional twerkers, right? So this is showing you how degraded the women of the society has become, right? And again, this is because the devil, Esau, is in rulership. Let's listen to this.
Driver. Grenades are kind of like hot.
I was giving Adam Driver.
Like, I wouldn't obviously sexually abuse it, but I would feel horny.
Yeah, if Sarah was in a room with
I wouldn't feel horny, but I would feel like awkward being naked in front of the dude.
I'd be like, get peeing.
They're just so big.
Wait, maybe instead of a boyfriend, I should get a Great Dane and just be like, you're my boyfriend.
That would be fucking.
So there you go. That's the mindset of your younger generation, Shedamite, women, right? And I doubt maybe it's just younger generation, but these are the inner, musings of your Edomite woman, okay? Thinking that a Great Dane is sexy, right? And this is why in Job it says that he would not suffer his dogs to be by them, man. That they cried after them as one after a thief, meaning that they used to drive away these Edomites, man, because of shit like that. And look at this. So there you go. You got, let me see if I can pause it. You basically you got people just covered in demons and wicked spirits, just doing just random craziness like this, man. People thinking that this is art or some sort of form of expression, which it is, but ultimately it's wickedness, right? It's wickedness as in it's pushing like a bad like vibe on society. Okay, like when you look at the people who were here, man, you know that they were doing. These people were really up to no good, right? Everybody there probably has like 5-6 different pronouns. Not living the way as the Bible basically tells you, man. Look at this woman, man. She's on the ground, freaking reveling, man, right? Freaking tearing herself apart. See, that right there is demon possession. Then you got this devil here, who says a Florida activist is asking state school districts to ban the Bible, saying it is not an age-appropriate book for kids and contains references to rape, bestiality, and infanticide, right? And that's exactly what we were just talking about right now, man, right? Bestiality. Who's talking about bestiality, man? The Bible refers to bestiality as what to do when that shit happens, man. How to handle it, right? How to put to death the willing perpetrators and the beasts, right? Infanticide, right? The killing off of babies. But who did this, man? The Egyptians and these Edomites, right? These devils here, man. When they were in power, okay, they're the ones who were out there killing babies, and they're still doing it till this day. But they're doing it now through a more organized business-like atmosphere, through the Planned Parenthood and all that type of stuff, man. Right? And let's not, talk about, this word here, man, because again, this society is all about this, man. If I have to remind you, the Me Too movement that, just recently came and went, right? That was just, a tip of the iceberg, because when you get into the whole sex trafficking that these devils are behind, the Edomites, man, it's nothing compared to the sex trafficking of the ancient times, right? The world is more in a worse off state now, under the control of these devils, like right here, man, right? And this guy here, I believe he's an atheist, right? He's like one of those like dyed in the wool atheist activists. And look at this, man. This right here just shows you the state of our people, right? And again, this is ultimately, this is your average non-Bible reading Israelite, right? Because right here, Oscar BLM, right? BLM stands for Black Lives Matter, right? So he's all about it. Like, he even has the face mask on for Black Lives Matter, right? But what does he say, right? He says, the Bible never made any goddamn sense. How the F did Adam and Eve populate the earth without everyone being horribly inbred? You see, man, that right there, to scoffers and people who are not learned in the Bible, who basically just get their talking points from churches or other atheist friends, that think that they're being smart and witty when they come up with these zingers. But the fact is that this guy actually understood what the Bible was saying, because he doesn't, obviously, because if he did, if he studied and he looked into what the Bible actually says, you would know that Adam and Eve were not the first people upon the earth, and that they were only the people which the Lord selected from the people upon the face of the earth at this time. Okay, remember, before Adam and Eve came the worldwide civilization, which we refer to as the Adamites, right? The Bible literally refers to this group of people as Adam, right? And it was made up of men and women, right? And again, these were the previous civilizations that Adam and Eve were pulled out of. So just like it's going to happen in the end times, when the Lord comes back and only selects a certain group, and within that certain group, a particular number, the 144,000, out of the Negro, Latino, Native Americans, to restart humanity, right, and lead it in righteousness, the Lord did the exact same thing in the time of the Adamites, when he pulled Adam and Eve from amongst those people and placed them in the eastward in Eden, right? Eden was basically the name for the earth back then, right? Paradise. But he put Adam and Eve in the eastern parts, which basically is Israel today. Okay? So that's what this guy is talking about, man. So when Adam and Eve had their children, again, you had other women in that society still, right? This is how the snake, who wasn't a literal snake, right, but it was simply the progenitor of the people that you would refer to today as white, right, or the Edomites. They basically taught Eve the magic and the wicked knowledge of that time, right? And Eve took it in, and she started practicing, and that was that sin that made her, Adam, and all of us that come from them fall from. Okay, and remember, those people, the Adamites and the descendants of Cain, They ultimately all perished during the flood of Noah, and that's when humanity was reset to only 8 people. Okay, Noah, his wife, his 3 kids, and their wives. Okay, this is 2 Corinthians 4:4. In whom the God, actually that's Salaki. 4, this is 2 Corinthians 4:3. It says, but if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of the Messiah, who is the image of God, should shine upon them. Right? So you see that? And notice right here, it's little g, right? Which means the gods of this world, right? And who is the God of this world? Well, that would be none other than Esau, okay? This guy, right? His people, they are the gods of this world. Now, again, the Edomite race and social class is so varying that you got the 1% and you got the dirt poor trailer Edomites, man. So again, they go through all gambits of classes around the world, okay? But again, these are the devils, man. These are the devils that have ruled the world, driven it into the ground, and have made wickedness to prevail. This is why the world calls these Edomites the border of wickedness, because wherever they go, that's where their wickedness is going to spread to, right? Just last week, you had Zelensky, the Ukrainian, puppet president, come out saying that they're finally going to consider the alphabet marriage, right? Which, if you understand the Ukrainian stance on the alphabet group, you know that they were very much against it. But now that the Zelensky is being, propped up by the Western powers, basically the Edomite powers, right? The NATO beast system described in Revelations, right? The 7-headed beast and the whore of Babylon, America, man. So Zelensky is now definitely going to drink that wine and get drunken off of that Babylonian juice, right? But let's read this. This is Proverbs 8:36. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. And this is ultimately, man, why you see all the people that are stuck in the world, in the mindset of America, or just, the general world right now. They may be all lovey-dovey or whatever, but when you look at what these people are wearing, skulls everywhere, man. Skulls on their shirt, on their earrings, on their shoes, stickers on their cars, skulls, everything. Skulls, costumes, skull bowls to eat your food out of, skull, and don't even get me started when Halloween comes around, man. See, the thing is the people, besides this scripture here literally talking about people loving death, not only is it physical, like as in like showing that people love getting shirts with skulls on them and, decorating skulls and all this type of stuff and just dark things in general, but that what happens is the people who are against the Bible, right, against the truth of the Bible, that is, because again, remember, the church and the Bible are 2 totally separate things, okay? The church is corrupt, the Bible is pure, okay? But the thing, because of a lot of people being misled by these churches, by the false doctrines that are being pushed out, you're having a lot of people who are basically destroying themselves, namely the Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, man. Like this guy here, man. This guy here, Oscar, BLM, right? He's sinning against his own soul, right? Now, not in this what he's typed here per se, but in his life in general, man. This guy's probably eating shrimp, crab, pork, and all this type of stuff, right? He might be all for the alphabet, ideology, right? But all that stuff that he thinks is righteous and justified and will bring what is it called, virtue signaling points here in Babylon the Great and in the current world, is in fact actually muddying the waters for his salvation, right? It takes him deeper into the grasp of Satan that is blinding the people of this world, which is why wickedness is at an all-time high. Because again, Oscar is not the only example of this, man. I just showed you some examples from Barcelona to some of these other places, man. You know, Barcelona, I don't know where this is at, America, right? There's probably America too. But you see, this place is just done for, man. This is Jeremiah 51:6. Flee ye out of the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's vengeance. He will render unto her a recompense. Right? And what is iniquity? Iniquity is sin upon sin upon sin, right? Just a multitude of sins, right? And if you're living in the Babylonian way of life, the American way, living the American dream, whatever, you're literally stuck in the midst of Babylon spiritually. Okay, this is what the Lord here is commanding, that every man delivers his soul, right? Which means that this doesn't mean that you got to get out of Babylon, you got to get out of America physically. You got to, we don't want you to jump on a plane or a Greyhound and make it to the nearest border and live out of the country. Now, if you want to, go ahead, but again, that isn't going to save you from any judgment that is coming your way. Because again, if the Lord wants, if your judgment has come, it's going to come if you are in your bed or on the other side of the world. The Lord, gets what he requires. Okay, and when he requires your soul, then there's nothing you could do to stop that death from coming through, right? But one thing you can do, however, is flee out of the midst of Babylon, right? Get out of the mindset of the American way, right? The westernized earth way, right? The way of Esau's system. Because again, you're gonna start seeing that wickedness from the whole alphabet, story times that they're pushing at the libraries and upon our kids, to this whole alphabet agenda, to the death agenda that is getting pushed, and ultimately the making Satan to be the good guy and the Messiah to be the bad guy. You're going to start seeing those narratives are going to be pushed a lot more, and they're going to only be amplified, and to the point where people are going to start looking at Satan or this Baphomet and say, hey, you know what? He was trying to free us. He was trying to give us freedom from that evil God, and that's going to be the mindset of the Babylonians, man, right? Because they're going to ultimately fall for the tricks and wiles of the devil, man. But hey, what does the scripture say? How do you save yourself from that? Deliver every man his soul. And what does that mean, right? So not only do you have to come out of the American way lifestyle and the Western world lifestyle, but you have to get into the Bible, which literally just means just read the Bible. Read the Bible and start praying to the Most High, whose true Hebrew name is Yahweh, and whose son's name in the Hebrew is Yahweh Shai, right? Yahweh means he is. Yahweh Shai means he delivers, right? He is salvation, okay? Those are the names that you must pray to. You must believe that they are in fact the Lord and the Son's name, okay? And then while you do that, you just basically got to study the scriptures, understand what the Bible literally is saying, and how it applies to you, using things like the 18-nation chart or the 12 tribes of Israel chart, right? Which, by the way, is legitimate. It is divinely inspired, and it was a gift from God to reawaken us Israelites here in America, the Valley of Dry Bones, right? So either way, Akim, I know this is a quick impromptu, but I'm gonna try to cover more of these videos because again, I keep saving them, and my phone is just full of these things, man. But there's so many things going on, so many examples of wickedness and judgment being sent out, that I can't make a video on every single one. So what I'm gonna start doing is I'm gonna start compiling them together, and I'm just gonna go ahead and do like I said, the wickedness of the week, so that way we can understand what's going on in this world, man, as far as how bad it's getting and how that applies to biblical prophecy. Because again, remember, this was prophecy that the world would get to a state where it would be utterly upside down morally, right? And that the world would be basically be ran by the wicked, Okay, and we know that today is the so-called Caucasian race, okay, whose true biblical name are the Edomites. Well, hopefully this video was edifying. Until next time, I want to give all honor and glory and praises to Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakal, Kodash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles, and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.